Hey, I'm Julie, and we're crocheting symbols of Griffith Park for the Autry Museum's exhibition investigating Griffith Park in order to celebrate the park's 125th anniversary. Today, I am demonstrating how to crochet a kite, like this. Many people have kite flying experience in Griffith Park. What about you? We would love for you to crochet a kite with us, and if you send it to us, we'll hang it up in the show. Information about where to send your kite will be provided at the end of the video. To start, you'll need yarn and a crochet hook. I used a 3.5mm or E-hook with DK weight acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn is important for this project as natural fibers could bring unwanted pests into the gallery. You can use whatever color you'd like or have on hand. You'll also need a tapestry needle and scissors. Let's get started on making the kite. We begin at the top of the kite with a slip knot. To make a slip knot, you cross the tail end over the yarn, draw up the yarn from the yarn ball side, and pull it through, making sure the tail doesn't come through as well. Next comes a chain stitch, and you'll need your hook for this part. Insert the hook into the loop. Now you draw yarn through the loop like that. You'll need 2 chain stitches right now. In the first chain, we'll be placing a single crochet. A single crochet is made by inserting the hook into the stitch, which in this case is a chain. You draw up a loop so that you have 2 loops on the hook, and then draw yarn through both loops. Now we're going to make another chain and turn, or flip your piece over. When you chain one and turn, it's because you've finished the row and you're starting on the next one. It's often called a turning chain. In the next row, we skip the chain stitch. In fact, we never work any stitches in the turning chain. But we will crochet 3 single crochet stitches, all in the single crochet stitch we made in the last row. Insert the hook, draw up a loop. We have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and draw through both loops. And you'll do that 2 more times. Now, chain 1 and turn. Clearly the rows will get longer as you move towards the kite's crossbar or widest horizontal dimension. For the third row, we skip the turning chain as always, and this time place 2 single crochets in the first stitch from the last row. Insert the hook, draw up a loop, 2 loops, yarn over, draw through both loops, and another in the same stitch. In the next stitch, we'll have just a single crochet, 1 single crochet. And in the last stitch of the row, we'll have 2 single crochets again. When you place 2 single crochets in the same stitch, it's called increasing, as you're increasing the number of stitches and therefore also the width. Now we chain and turn. Skipping the turning chain, now increase in the first stitch. 1 and 2. 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch of the row. 1 and 2. chain and turn. Now we'll increase and single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So increase first, 1, 2. We'll do 5 single crochets and an increase at the end. And you'll keep doing this until you have 13 single crochet stitches all together. Now we'll chain and turn, and we switch to decreasing. We'll decrease with the single crochet 2 together. To do this, you draw up a loop in the first stitch, draw up a loop in the next stitch. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops. So you single crochet 2 together over the first 2 stitches, and then single crochet in each of these stitches in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 9. And now you'll single crochet 2 together the last 2 stitches in the row. Chain and turn. Now, since the bottom half of the kite decreases slowly, we'll only be decreasing in every other row. So instead, the next row is a single crochet in each stitch across. We've already chained and turned. Draw up a loop, single crochet. And here's the final single crochet of the row. We're going to chain and turn. The next row is another decrease row. So we'll decrease over the first 2 stitches by inserting the hook and drawing up a loop in the first stitch, drawing up another loop in the second stitch, yarn over and draw through all 3 loops, and then we'll be single crocheting across until we get to the last 2 stitches of the row. So 2 stitches left, 1, 2, and we'll do our decrease. Chain 1 and turn. It's another single crochet row, and then we'll alternate between decrease rows and single crochet rows all the way until we have just 3 single crochet stitches left. So now we have just 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. We're going to chain and turn, and we will crochet 3 single crochets, 1 in each stitch across. Now chain 1 and turn, and here we're going to work a 3 single crochets together stitch where we insert the hook into the first stitch and draw up a loop, insert the hook into the second stitch and draw up a loop, and into the third stitch and draw up a loop. We'll have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and draw through all 4 loops. Now chain and turn, we'll do a single crochet, just one single crochet here, and it's time to fasten off. So we need our scissors and snip. Draw the end through the loop and tighten. There we go. There is our kite base. To add the crossbar and spine of the kite, we'll use slip stitches on the surface of the kite. This technique, called surface crochet, allows us to draw with crochet. And we'll start with a slip knot. Now insert the hook where you'd like the surface crochet to begin, pulling the loop through to the front but leaving the knot on the back side. Now we need to shrink that loop a little bit. We'll turn in the direction that we want our line to go. Insert the hook and draw the back yarn through to the front so that we have two loops. Insert the top loop through the bottom loop and you've made your first slip stitch. Now go to the next place you'd like your line to go. Draw the yarn back through to the front. Pull that top loop through the bottom loop. Again, insert the hook. Draw the yarn back from behind the fabric and draw the loop through the loop and keep on going. Once you've gotten to the end of the line that you were drawing, you're going to remove the hook from the loop, flip your piece over, and insert the hook so that you can pull the loop to the back side. Then you'll cut your tail and draw the tail through the loop. Fasten off. So we have our spine. Now we'll work the crossbar in the same manner. Now we'll work our crossbar in the same manner, starting with the slip knot, inserting the hook, and drawing the loop to the front. And now slip stitching in the direction that you'd like the line to go. We're moving straight across. Now we're almost done making our crossbar here. Insert into the last stitch, drop a loop, draw the top loop through the bottom loop. Then we're going to remove the hook, flip the piece over, and draw that loop to the back. Now we're going to cut a tail and fasten off. So now you have your spine and your crossbar. Now we'll work on the kite tail. We'll start with a slip knot. Insert the hook at the bottom of the kite and draw the loop through to the front. Then we're just going to make a tail. through making as many chains as you like. I'm making mine about 4 to 5 inches. Now we'll make a bow for the tail of the kite. We'll start with the slip knot and then chain 6. We're going to skip that last chain and single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Then we'll single crochet in all the remaining chains. Working in a chain is often fiddly. There's the last one. Then we'll do our turning chain and flip the work. And single crochet another row. And we'll do one more row after that. Chain and flip. And here's the last stitch. We're going to fasten that off. Oops, here we go. And draw the end through the loop and tighten. So we have this small rectangle now. We're now going to tie the bow in the middle, not using crochet, just a bit of yarn. So we'll cut about 9 inches or so. And we're wrapping it around this rectangle. Now we'll take a length of yarn, about 9 inches, and center the rectangle in the middle of that, tying a nice tight knot, or at least the first half of a knot. Then we're going to wrap it around a couple times and tie another really tight knot. This part is not crochet. This time we're going to do a real knot. Again, just make it as tight as you can. Now, I found that if the yarn is not laying horizontal from the knot to the bow, in this case it is, but you can feed the yarn into the needle like that and draw it through that wrapped yarn, and that should correct that part, although it didn't seem like it was necessary in this case. And then we're going to tie that around our tail. We need to adjust it a little bit. At some point, you'll want to weave in your ends. Take a tapestry needle and thread the needle with your yarn tail. Flip your piece onto the back side and insert the needle in a nearby stitch. You'll want to go to a row that's a little bit longer than the one at each corner. So just slowly go into stitches until you come to one that seems long enough. Then we're going to go under at least 4 or 5 strands of yarn. They don't have to be 4 or 5 stitches, but 4 to 5 parts of stitches. And keep going. And then we'll skip 1 strand of yarn and turn in the opposite direction. We want to weave it back and forth 3 times to make sure that it's secure. Now you've got a crocheted kite. Thanks for watching, and check out the information at the end of the video to find out where to send your piece in order to have it included in the exhibition. Bye for now.